Ladies and gentlemen, she did it! Seeing is believing, my friends.
This has been Linny and Lynette's magic show.
Wait, is she their father? Have you ever wondered why there are so many fathers in this game? Even when it's not humans but a dragon from a side quest, whoever sticks with the concept of fatherhood. And when we do get a mother, well, somehow it's always a sad story. Today I'm back with a remastered video you might have seen if you're an old subscriber. I first discussed this topic right after the release of the Windrise festival event. You see, the main theme of the festival seemed to be family, but somehow every voice we heard in the cutscene was of a father. Diana, Rosaria, Kaya, Diluc. If the point was to show the once lost and the newly found family of Razor, why does every other character not have a full family or at least one mom? Interestingly, there is a detail in this cutscene that might hint to Diluc's mother, as we see a certain tea set on his table, which is very different from every other model used in the game and is unique to the Dawn Winery, but seems to be connected to one of the witches of the Hexen Circle, Nicole Reeyn, as shown in the related trailer, The Mage's Tea Party. But that was a while ago. Now in Fontaine, we met lots of characters who are orphans, and only two parental figures are playing an important role in Regent's quests, the father of Navia and also Arlecchino, the head of the orphanage, who ironically, although being a woman, wears a title of the father. Generally, it's not rare in Genshin Impact that parents of certain characters are mentioned in their story or exist in the game as non-playable characters. Some characters have both parents, but never talk about either of them in particular. Many characters only have their fathers featured in their stories, and only few of them actually mention their mothers. Besides, only fathers of playable characters are currently present in the game as NPCs. Let's take a look at some examples of moms in Genshin Impact. The first character that comes to mind is Alice, the mother of Klee. Although mostly being absent from her daughter's life, for the longest time she remained the only mother of a playable character that had a name in this game. Kave's mother, Faranak, suffered from a depression after the death of her husband. She later moved to Fontaine and remarried. From what we know, they do not keep in contact. Barbara and Jean's parents are divorced, and Jean was chosen to stay with her mother, which seems to only have traumatized her as a kid. Freminet's mother had to put him into the orphanage to protect from the debt collectors who threatened to take away her son. However, he grew up being told that his mother abandoned him. Kokomi's mother passed down the role of the Divine Priestess to her daughter, the role that takes a big toll on Kokomi's mental well-being. Meanwhile, the mothers of Kuki Shinobu, Fischl, and Xingyang were featured in the past events in the game as voices or memories that had a negative impact on these characters, such as forcing them to quit things they enjoy or to pursue a certain profession. Shunho and Kamisato siblings have lost their mothers, and although Ayaka has fond memories of her own mother, these just seem to be character-shaping moments in their lore. It's not the mother figure or their relationship, but the fact of her death that matters to the story. To summarize, mothers are rarely featured in this game alone, not as a part of a faceless parents entity, like in Sucrose or Yanfei stories. And most of the time, they serve as a negative or dramatic influence on characters' lives. Meanwhile, fathers or fatherly figures are much more common in the lore, and we do have quite a few sweet and heartwarming, even brave stories about the bond they shared with their kids. I came up with 4 theories that could potentially explain the situation. First, world building. The world of Teyvat does not have advanced healthcare systems or medical practices except for whatever Baiju's doing. Although some specialists like Barbara can even revive the fallen warriors, not every village or town has these gifted people around. Women can suffer from the aftermath of childbirth or just have a shorter lifespan due to poor diet or harsh life conditions like not being able to protect themselves in battles. The story of Shunho is a good example. Some mothers may not be able to be around in the first place, so they're not mentioned in the lore. Secondly, it may be intentional to highlight a character referred to as the mother by many characters in the game. Albedo and his many imperfect brothers, Elenas, Durin. I bet Rein's daughter has even more so-called children we are yet to learn about. Although she created them rather than was their biological mother, her status is underlined so many times it seems whoever wants us to believe that the act of creating artificial life is of extreme importance in the game's lore. We know that Ei was never really referred to as a mother of Kunikozushi, nor was Rukadevata a mother of Kusanali, although Nahida is physically a continuation of her. However, if it is true, I am slightly disappointed they had to put on a pedestal the mother of alchemical experiments by disregarding the potential of real motherhood for the game's story. My third theory was that men could hold more value in the culture of Teyvat. They are owners of properties and titles like Krapus Ragenbinder. This theory I sorta debunked myself because although applicable in some instances, it's not generally true. Women in every region of this game's world have wealth, power, and are heroes as well as men. Alas, the disproportion stands, and in many examples where no status is attached to the character, the choice is the same. Like, there is no reason why Xiangling's father, who is a famous chef in Liyue, couldn't have been a mother like this famous chef from Springvale. The last theory is that the writers who worked on Genshin Impact felt most confident visualizing their ideas through fatherly figures, just like some of the best written stories, in my opinion, center around male characters in this game. Which is totally fine, but I'd love to see more mothers and children, and I mean real children, relationships represented in the game. Have you ever thought why there are only fathers in Genshin Impact? Which theory do you think explains it best? Maybe you have your own idea. I'd love to read it in the comment section. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.